Today I'm going to make Biscochitos. Now you guys have requested this for quite some time. It's been around 2 to 3 years that I always get this request, especially around the holidays. So here's a recipe I came up with utilizing an old coworker's recipe. She used to bring this to the office. Sometimes she would make her homemade Biscochitos. Now her recipe did not have orange zest or brandy, which I decided to add to my recipe after doing some research online. I'm not sure which way is the original or authentic way to make Biscochitos, but I like the combination of the orange zest, cinnamon, vanilla. It's a great holiday cookie. So hopefully you like this recipe. Here we go. To get started, here in a large bowl, I have 1 cup of vegetable shortening. You can use lard. You could also use softened butter. But what I'm going to do is mix it and whip it around to make it easier to combine with the other ingredients. Now I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1 large egg, 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now I'm just going to give that a mix. Now I'm going to add the zest of an orange. This is a large orange, so I'm only going to zest around 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons. I'm going to add it into my bowl, give it a mix, and now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of brandy. Like I said earlier, the orange zest and brandy are optional. You could use the juice of the orange in place of the brandy, but this really does, again, add flavor to the cookie. Now I'm going to crush whole anise seeds. I'm going to eventually use a teaspoon of crushed anise seeds. I'm going to continue mixing and combining this. Here I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of coarse ground salt. If you're using fine table salt, then maybe a 1/2 teaspoon, and 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. Give it a mix and add it to your large bowl and combine well. Now I'm just going to divide the dough into 2 discs and cover it in plastic wrap. I'm going to refrigerate for 1 hour. So my cookie dough has chilled, and before I start rolling it out, I'm going to combine a 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. This is what I'm going to dip one side of the cookie in. So on a well-floured surface, I'm going to roll out my cookie dough to around 1/4 inch thick. I did not do this perfectly. It could be a little thicker or even some places thinner. Once it's rolled out, I'm going to start cutting out my cookies. The cutter that I'm using today is around 1½ to 2 inches in diameter. Using this cutter, I can get around 4 dozen cookies. Now I'm going to carefully pick up the cookie and coat one side. The coated side stays up, and place this on your cookie sheet. I'm going to repeat the process for all of my cookies. Okay, so my first batch is done. It's going into a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 13 minutes. Once the cookies have baked, I'm just going to let them sit and cool, then serve. This is probably one of my favorite holiday treats, just because the combination of the ingredients just smell like the holidays. So I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.